Deho stared at the message on his computer screen for the third time. The words still looked the same. The Galactic Educational Consortium was offering exchange programs to human students. Real aliens, real space travel, real other worlds. He had applied as a joke. His friends said no alien would ever want humans in their schools. Humans were too new to space travel, too wild, too unpredictable. But here was the acceptance letter. Survival Training Program. Basic life skills for young beings, it said. Learn essential wilderness techniques in a safe, controlled environment. Deho was studying alien biology at Seoul University. He had always wondered what other species were like. This was his chance to find out. The letter said 2 other humans had been accepted. He wondered who they were. 3 weeks later, Deho stood in the shuttle bay of Kepler Station. His stomach felt strange from the long space flight. Everything was bigger than he expected. The ceilings were very high. The doors were wide enough for 3 people to walk through together. "Are you Deho?" He turned around. A young woman was walking toward him. She had short black hair and carried a large backpack. "Yes," he said. "Are you another human student?" "I'm Nari," she said. "Engineering student from Busan. I saw your name on the program list." They shook hands. Nari had a strong grip. She looked like someone who worked with her hands a lot. "Do you know who the 3rd human is?" Deho asked. "Over here," someone called out. A young man with messy hair was sitting on a bench. He was drawing, in a notebook. When he looked up, he had paint on his fingers. "I'm Woo Jin," he said. "Art student. I joined this program because I wanted to see alien worlds. I thought it would give me new ideas for my paintings." Deho looked at the other 2 humans. Nari seemed practical and smart. Woo Jin seemed creative, but maybe not very serious. They were an odd group. "Why did you join?" Nari asked Deho. "I study alien biology," he said. "I wanted to learn about other species." "What about you?" "The program said we would learn to build things with basic materials," Nari said. "Engineering without machines." It sounded interesting. A loud voice spoke over the station speakers. "All survival training students report to Bay 7. All survival training students report to Bay 7. The 3 humans looked at each other. They picked up their bags and started walking. Bay 7 was huge. The ceiling was at least 10 meters high. Strange beings were standing around in small groups. Deho had seen pictures of aliens before, but seeing them in person was different. One alien looked like it was made of colored glass. It sparkled when it moved. Another alien looked like a walking tree with flowers for a head. A 3rd alien wore a suit that covered its whole body. Pipes and tubes connected to a tank on its back. "Wow," Woo Jin whispered. "This is amazing." More aliens arrived. Some floated instead of walking. Others had too many arms or too many eyes. Deho tried not to stare, but it was hard. The glass-like alien approached them. When it spoke, its voice sounded like wind chimes. "Are you the humans?" it asked. "Yes," Deho said. "I'm Deho. These are Nari and Woo Jin." "I am Veltar," the alien said. "I am a silicoid. I have heard about humans, but I have never met any before." The tree-like alien walked over. Its voice sounded like leaves rustling. "I am Bloom Whisper," it said. "I am from the Verdanian worlds." "Are humans really from a Class 12 planet?" Deho didn't know what that meant. "We're from Earth," he said. "Class 12, Bloom Whisper repeated. It sounded worried. The alien in the suit joined them. Its voice came through a speaker. "I am Skath," it said. "I breathe methane. My suit keeps me alive in your oxygen environment. I have read that humans can survive in many different environments. Is this true?" "I guess so," Nari said. "We live all over Earth. Hot places, cold places, wet places, dry places." Skath's suit made a beeping sound. "Fascinating," it said. A new voice spoke loudly across the bay. "Students, gather around. Class is beginning." Everyone turned to look. The instructor was walking toward them. It looked like a giant centipede that could stand up on its back legs. It had at least 20 arms and wore a uniform covered in patches and symbols. "I am Instructor Kexnell," it said. "Welcome to survival training, basic life skills. This is an important class. You will learn to survive in wilderness conditions, without technology." The alien students moved closer. They looked nervous. "This training will be challenging," Kexnell continued. "You will face extreme conditions. You will learn to find food without processors. You will learn to create shelter without builders. You will learn to purify water without cleaners." Daeho glanced at Nari and Wu Jin. They looked confused. "The training world has dangerous conditions," Kexnell said. "Temperatures as low as 5 degrees Celsius, weather systems with precipitation and wind, limited food sources, wild creatures." Wu Jin raised his hand. "Excuse me, instructor. Did you say 5 degrees Celsius?" "Yes," Kexnell said. "Extremely cold conditions, nearly at the freezing point of water. Very dangerous for most species." The three humans looked at each other again. 5 degrees Celsius was 41 degrees Fahrenheit. That was cool weather, but not cold. In Seoul, winter temperatures often went much lower. "You will also face the challenge of finding clean water," Kexnell continued. "The training world has natural water sources, but they are not processed. You will need to determine if they are safe to drink." Nari whispered to Daeho. "Like camping by a river?" Daeho nodded. "Wild creatures live on the training world," Kexnell said. "They are not aggressive, but they are unpredictable. Some are as large as—" The instructor paused and looked at its notes. "As large as your smallest domestic animals." Veltar made a sound like breaking glass. "How terrifying," it said. "The largest predator is about the size of a small companion animal," Kexnell said. "It has been known to bite when threatened. Its bite can cause drowsiness." Wu Jin leaned over to Nari. "That sounds like a sleepy cat," he whispered. "Students will work in mixed groups," Kexnell announced. "Each group will have different species. This will help you learn from each other." The instructor started reading group assignments. Daeho, Nari, and Wu Jin were put in the same group with Veltar, Bloom Whisper, and Skath. "Excellent," Veltar chimed. "I am curious to observe human survival techniques." "I hope you can teach us," Bloom Whisper said. "My species has never faced wilderness conditions." "What do you mean?" Daeho asked. "Verdanians evolved on garden worlds," Bloom Whisper explained. "Perfect climate, no predators, our food grows automatically. We have never needed to find water or build shelter." Skath's suit beeped. "My species developed intelligence in underground caves with stable conditions. We built cities before we ever saw weather. And silicoids like me grow in mineral fields," Veltar added. "We absorb nutrients from rocks. We do not hunt or gather food." The three humans stared at their alien teammates. These beings had never been camping. They had never been in weather. They had never needed to find their own food or water. "Don't worry," Nari said. "It will be fine. Humans go camping all the time. It's fun." "Camping?" Skath asked. "Living outside for a few days," Wu Jin explained. "Building fires, sleeping under stars, catching fish, normal stuff." The aliens looked at each other with what might have been panic. "You do this for entertainment?" Veltar asked. "Sometimes," Daeho said. "My family used to go camping every summer." "Your family survived in wilderness conditions? For fun?" Bloom Whisper asked. "Sure," Daeho said. "We would hike in the mountains, cook food over a fire, sleep in tents." Kexnell called for attention again. "Students will depart for the training world tomorrow morning. Bring only basic supplies. No technology beyond simple tools. The challenge begins at sunrise." As the briefing ended, the alien students gathered in worried groups. They talked in worried voices about the extreme challenge ahead. The three humans walked together toward their quarters. "I don't understand," Nari said. "This sounds like a weekend camping trip." "Maybe it's harder than it sounds," Daeho suggested. "Or maybe," Wu Jin said, Other species just don't go camping. They had no idea how right he was. That night, while alien students across the station prepared emergency supplies and studied survival manuals, the three humans packed the same way they would for any camping trip. They had no idea they were about to become the most famous survival instructors in the galaxy. The adventure was about to begin. The shuttle ride to the training world took 2 hours. Most of the alien students spent the time checking their emergency supplies and reading survival guides on their tablets. Some looked worried. Others looked scared. Dae-ho looked out the window, at the planet below. It looked green and blue with white clouds. It looked almost exactly like Earth. Pretty, Woo-jin said, sitting next to him. Good light for painting. Nari was checking her backpack one more time. She had brought rope, a knife, a small shovel, and some basic tools. Standard camping gear, she had told the other humans. The alien students had much more equipment. Veltar had 3 containers of mineral supplements. Bloom Whisper had a humidity generator and plant food. Skoth had extra gas tanks for his suit. Attention students, Instructor Kexnal announced over the shuttle speakers. We are landing on Training World Gamma 7. Remember, this is a hostile environment. Stay with your groups. Follow all safety protocols. Emergency beacons will activate if conditions become too dangerous. The shuttle landed in a clearing surrounded by trees. Through the windows, Dae-ho could see grass, flowers, and a small stream. Birds were flying between the trees. It looked like a park. The shuttle doors opened. Fresh air flowed in. It smelled like grass and flowers. The shuttle ride to the training world took 2 hours. Most of the alien students spent the time checking their emergency supplies and reading survival guides on their tablets. Some looked worried. Others looked scared. Dae-ho looked out the window at the planet below. It looked green and blue with white clouds. It looked almost exactly like Earth. Pretty, Woo-jin said, sitting next to him. Good light for painting. Nari was checking her backpack one more time. She had brought rope, a knife, a small shovel, and some basic tools. Standard camping gear, she had told the other humans. The alien students had much more equipment. Veltar had 3 containers of mineral supplements. Bloom Whisper had a humidity generator and plant food. Skoth had extra gas tanks for his suit. Attention students, Instructor Kexnal announced over the shuttle speakers. We are landing on Training World Gamma 7. Remember, this is a hostile environment. Stay with your groups. Follow all safety protocols. Emergency beacons will activate if conditions become too dangerous. The shuttle landed in a clearing surrounded by trees. Through the windows, Dae-ho could see grass, flowers, and a small stream. Birds were flying between the trees. It looked like a park. The shuttle doors opened. Fresh air flowed in. It smelled like grass and flowers. The alien students put on protective gear before stepping outside. Veltar activated a personal shield generator. Bloom Whisper turned on her humidity suit. Skoth checked his environmental readings 3 times. The humans just walked outside. Nice day, Nari said, looking at the sky. Maybe 18 degrees. Light breeze. Good weather for camping, Dae-ho agreed. Woo-jin was already pulling out his sketchpad. The colors here are amazing, he said. Instructor Kexnal gathered everyone in a circle. Students, you have been dropped in a survival zone. You must work together to survive the next 4 days. Your first challenge is shelter. You must build protection from the elements using only materials you find here. The instructor pointed to a pile of basic supplies. You may use these tools: rope, tarps, and simple cutting implements. No powered equipment, no prefabricated structures. The temperature will drop to 5 degrees Celsius tonight, Kexnal continued. There will be wind and possible precipitation. You must be prepared. Several alien students made worried sounds. Your second challenge is food and water. The processed rations you brought will run out in 2 days. You must find other food sources. You must purify water from natural sources. Bloom Whisper's leaves rustled nervously. Find food? In the wild? This is very dangerous, Veltar chimed. How do we know what is safe to eat? That is part of the challenge, Kexnel said. You must learn. I will observe and take notes, but I will not help unless there is immediate danger to life. The instructor's many arms pointed in different directions. Your groups will camp in separate areas. Begin now. Sunset is in 6 hours. The groups spread out across the clearing. Daeho, Nari, and Woojin walked with their alien teammates toward a spot near the stream. This looks good, Nari said. Close to water, protected from wind by those trees. High ground in case of rain. How do you know these things? Skath asked through his suit speakers. Basic camping knowledge, Nari said. You want water nearby, but not too close in case the stream floods. You want protection from weather, but not under big branches that might fall. The aliens looked confused. Nari started examining the area more carefully. We need to clear this ground for sleeping. Remove rocks and sticks. We should dig a small drainage ditch here in case of rain. You want to dig in the ground? Veltar asked. Just a little, Nari said, to keep water from collecting under our shelter. While Nari planned the campsite, Daeho walked around looking at plants and trees. He had studied biology, so he could identify many things. These berries are safe to eat, he told the group. This plant has edible roots. Those mushrooms growing on that log are good for cooking. How do you know? Bloom Whisper asked. I studied plant biology, Daeho said. Also, my grandfather taught me about wild plants when I was little. Woojin was collecting firewood. He made a neat pile of different sizes of wood. Small twigs for starting fire, medium branches for keeping it going, large logs for burning through the night. Why are you collecting so much wood? Skath asked. We'll need fire for cooking, warmth, and light, Woojin said. Also, fire keeps animals away and helps purify water. The aliens watched in amazement as the humans worked. In 2 hours, they had cleared a campsite, dug drainage ditches, and gathered materials for shelter and fire. Nari was weaving branches together to make a frame. We'll stretch the tarp over this, then layer more branches on top for insulation. Insulation? Veltar asked. To keep heat in and cold out, Nari explained. We trap air between layers. Air is a good insulator. Meanwhile, other groups were struggling. One group had managed to tie a tarp between 2 trees, but it was too low and would collect rainwater. Another group had built their shelter in a low area that would flood if it rained. By evening, the humans had completed a large, weatherproof shelter. It had a raised floor to keep them dry. The walls were thick with insulating layers. There was even a small entry area to keep cold air from getting inside. This is incredible, Bloom Whisper said. It looks like a proper building. It's just a camping shelter, Daeho said. Pretty basic design. As the sun went down, Woojin started a fire. He used dry grass and small twigs to catch the first spark, then gradually added larger pieces of wood. The fire caught quickly and burned bright and warm. Amazing, Skath said. You created heat and light without any technology. Fire is technology, Nari said. Just very old technology. The humans cooked dinner over the fire. Daeho had found wild vegetables and edible plants. Nari had caught fish from the stream using a simple trap. Woojin roasted everything over the coals. The alien. Students ate their processed rations and watched the humans cook fresh food. How did you catch fish without equipment? Veltar asked. I made a fish trap, Nari said. Just wove some branches together to make a funnel. Fish swim in but can't swim out. Is the water safe to drink? Bloom Whisper asked. After we boil, Daeho said. Boiling kills dangerous bacteria. The aliens had no idea what bacteria were. As night fell, the temperature dropped. The alien students huddled in their basic shelters, using battery-powered heaters and warming devices. The humans sat comfortably around their fire, warm and well-fed. This is nice, Woojin said. Like camping with my family when I was little. The stars are beautiful here, Daeho said, looking up. No city lights to block them. I should paint this scene, Woojin said. The fire, the stars, the forest. Nari was already making plans for tomorrow. We should build a better water filter. Maybe set up some snares for small game. I saw a rabbit. Tracks near the stream. From nearby shelters came sounds of worry and discomfort. The other groups were cold, hungry, and scared, but the humans were enjoying themselves. Are we doing something wrong? Deho asked quietly. This seems too easy. Maybe. The other students just need more practice, Nari said. Everyone has to learn sometime. They had no idea that what they considered practice was actually impossible by galactic standards. Far away, Instructor Kexnal was watching through observation equipment. The human's performance was so unusual that he had already sent a report to his supervisors. Human students displaying unprecedented survival skills, he wrote. They appear to be thriving in hostile conditions. Request guidance on evaluation standards. Back at the campsite, the humans banked their fire for the night and went to sleep in their warm, dry shelter. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. But for beings who had evolved on a world where every day was a survival challenge, this felt like a relaxing vacation. The third morning started with screaming. Deho woke up first. The screaming was coming from another group's campsite about 50 meters away. He could hear Instructor Kexnal's voice shouting commands. Stay calm, form defensive positions. Do not make sudden movements. Nari and Wujin woke up quickly. The three humans crawled out of their shelter to see what was happening. Near the other campsite, alien students were running in circles. Some had climbed trees. Others were hiding behind rocks. Their instructor was trying to organize them into a defensive formation. What's wrong? Bloom Whisper asked. She had been awake early, absorbing morning sunlight. I don't know, Deho said. Some kind of emergency. Scath's suit was beeping with alarm signals. Predator alert. Predator alert, his speakers announced. Where? Nari asked, looking around. Veltar pointed with a crystalline arm. There, the apex predator. The humans looked where he was pointing. They saw a small, furry animal sitting on a log. It was about the size of a house cat with big eyes, pointed ears, and a fluffy tail. It was grooming itself with its paws. That's the dangerous predator? Wujin asked. The animal looked up at the sound of his voice. It tilted its head to one side, looking curious. It's adorable, Nari said. Do not approach it, Kexnal shouted. It is a Class 3 predator. Its bite contains mild neurotoxins. Neurotoxins? Deho asked. Poison that affects the nervous system, Bloom Whisper explained, her leaves shaking with fear. It can cause drowsiness and confusion. The little animal jumped down from the log and walked closer to the human's campsite. It moved with small bouncing steps. It's like a squirrel mixed with a ferret, Wujin said. Look at how it moves. Should we be scared? Nari asked. She didn't sound scared. She sounded curious. The animal stopped about 3 meters away from them. It sat up on its back legs and looked at them with bright, intelligent eyes. I think it's just curious about us, Deho said. It doesn't look aggressive. Do not engage with the predator, Kexnal called out. Wait for containment team. But Deho was already moving slowly toward the animal. He kept his movements gentle and calm. He had grown up with pets. He knew how to approach small animals without scaring them. Easy, little one, he said softly. I'm not going to hurt you. The animal watched him approach. Its ears twitched, but it didn't run away. Deho, be careful, Nari said, but she didn't sound very worried. Deho stopped 2 meters from the animal. He sat down on the ground to make himself seem less threatening. The animal studied him for a moment, then took a few steps closer. From the other campsites came sounds of panic. The human is being attacked, someone shouted. Call for emergency evacuation, another voice yelled. But Deho was sitting peacefully on the ground while the small animal sniffed his hand. I think it just wants food, he said to his friends. Try giving it something, Wujin suggested. Deho reached into his pocket and pulled out some of the berries he had collected the day before. He held one out in his palm. The animal looked at the berry, then at Deho's face, then back at the berry. After a moment, it stepped forward and gently took the berry with its small paws. Good, Deho said softly. You're just hungry, aren't you? The animal ate the berry and looked for more. Deho gave it another one. Within 10 minutes, the dangerous apex predator was sitting in Deho's lap, eating berries and making soft purring sounds. Unbelievable, Kexnel said, walking over with his emergency equipment. The predator has been domesticated? It's not dangerous, Nari said. It's just a small omnivore looking for food. But the neurotoxins, Veltar chimed worriedly. What kind of neurotoxins? Deho asked, still petting the animal. The bite causes drowsiness, Kexnel explained. Sometimes confusion. It can be dangerous if multiple predators attack together. So, it's like being bitten by a sleepy hamster? Wu Jin asked. What is a hamster? Skoth asked through his speakers. A small pet animal on Earth, Wu Jin explained. They sometimes bite children. The children get a small red mark and maybe cry for a minute. The alien stared at him. This is normal for human children? Bloom Whisper asked. Sure, Nari said. Kids get bitten by pets all the time. Cats scratch, dogs nip, hamsters bite. It's not dangerous. The small animal had fallen asleep in Deho's lap, curled up like a furry ball. I think we should call it Bounce, Wu Jin said. Look how it bounces when it walks. You're naming the apex predator? Kexnal asked. It's not a predator, Deho said. It's just a small animal. Probably lives on fruits, nuts, and insects. If to prove his point, Bounce woke up and jumped down to chase a butterfly. It pounced playfully, missed, and tumbled in the grass. Extremely dangerous, Nari said with a smile. The other alien students slowly came out from their hiding places. They watched in amazement as Bounce played in the clearing like a kitten. How did you know it wasn't dangerous? Veltar asked. Body language, Deho explained. The way it moved, the way it looked at us. Dangerous animals act differently. They show teeth. They make threatening sounds. They move aggressively. This one was just curious and hungry, Nari added. But what if it had attacked? Skoth asked. Wu Jin shrugged. Then we would have moved away. It's tiny. What's the worst it could do? Give us a small bite that makes us sleepy? The aliens looked at each other with expressions of shock. You would risk neurotoxin exposure? Bloom Whisper asked. For something that small? Nari said. The risk is minimal. Besides, most small animals don't attack unless they're cornered or protecting babies. How do you know these things? Kexnel asked. Basic animal behavior, Deho said. You learn it growing up on Earth. We have lots of small animals. Dangerous ones? Veltar asked. Some, Wu Jin said, but mostly they just want to be left alone. The day continued with more challenges. The instructor had planned to test the students with extreme weather conditions. Dark clouds had been gathering since morning. At noon, it started to rain. The alien students panicked again. They had never experienced precipitation before. Water falling from the sky seemed like a natural disaster to them. They ran for their shelters, sealing themselves inside with emergency protocols. The humans put on their rain jackets and kept working. Good for the fire, Nari said, setting up a rain cover over their cooking area. We need the ashes anyway. Good for collecting water too, Deho added, positioning containers to catch rainwater. Wu Jin was actually excited. I've never painted in the rain before, he said. Look how it changes the colors of everything. The rain got heavier. The wind picked up. According to galactic standards, this was a severe weather emergency. The humans built a better rain shelter, reinforced their campsite drainage, and continued cooking lunch. Bounce had found a dry spot under their tarp and was napping peacefully. Students, Kexnal called out through the rain. Severe weather protocol is in effect. Remain in your shelters until conditions improve. We're fine out here, Nari called back. The precipitation is dangerous, the instructor replied. It's just rain, Deho said. We're staying dry. From inside the alien shelters came sounds of distress. Some students were afraid their shelters would collapse. Others were worried about flooding. All of them were cold and scared, but the humans were comfortable and dry under their well-built shelter, cooking fresh fish soup over a protected fire, with their new pet sleeping peacefully nearby. I don't understand, Wu Jin said quietly. Is this really dangerous for them? Maybe their species never evolved with weather, Nari suggested. That would explain a lot, Deho agreed. The rain continued all afternoon. By evening, rescue shuttles were on standby in case students needed emergency evacuation. But in one corner of the training area, 3 humans were having a pleasant rainy day, completely unaware that they were performing miracles by galactic standards. Tomorrow would bring even bigger surprises. The emergency shuttle arrived 2 hours after dawn on the 4th day. Instructor Kexenol had sent a priority message to Kepler Station during the night. The survival training had produced results that no one could explain. 3 humans had not just survived the extreme conditions. They had thrived. The data was impossible according to all known galactic biology. Dr. He-Jin stepped off the shuttle first. She was a human xenobiologist who worked at Kepler Station. Behind her came several alien officials from the Galactic Educational Consortium. "Where are the human students?" Dr. He-Jin asked Kexenol. The instructor pointed toward the humans' campsite. "They are still active." What the officials saw made them stop walking. The 3 humans had built what looked like a small village. Their original shelter had been expanded into a multi-room structure with separate areas for sleeping, cooking, and storage. They had built a workshop area where Nari was weaving baskets from plant fibers. They had created a garden where Deho was growing wild vegetables in organized rows. Wu Jin was painting a picture of the sunrise while Bounce sat on his shoulder like a pet. "How long have they been here?" Dr. He-Jin asked. 4 days, Kexenol replied. "The same as all students." "And they built all of this in 4 days?" "Yes, without any technology beyond basic tools." Dr. He-Jin walked closer to the human campsite. The other alien students were slowly emerging from their shelters. They looked tired, hungry, and stressed. Some needed medical attention, but the humans looked healthy and relaxed. "Good morning," Deho called out when he saw the visitors. "Would you like some breakfast? We have fresh fish and berries." "Fresh fish?" Dr. He-Jin asked. "Nari improved her fish trap design," Deho explained. "We catch more fish than we can eat. We've been sharing with the other students." This was news to the officials. They looked at Kexenol. "The humans have been providing food assistance to other groups," the instructor admitted. "Several students would have required emergency rations without their help." "What kind of food assistance?" asked one of the officials, a tall blue alien with 4 arms. "We showed them which plants are safe to eat," Nari said, walking over with a basket of vegetables. "And we helped them build better water filters." "Water filters?" the official asked. "For purifying stream water," Wu Jin explained. "You layer sand, charcoal, and cloth. Basic camping technique." "Camping technique?" Dr. He-Jin repeated. "You know," Deho said, "for when you sleep outside for fun." The officials looked confused. "You do this for entertainment?" the blue alien asked. "Sometimes," Nari said. "It's relaxing. Good way to spend weekends." Dr. He-Jin was taking notes on her tablet. "Show me this water filter." The humans led the group to their water purification system. It was simple but effective. Water from the stream flowed through layers of filtering materials into a clean collection container. "How did you know to build this?" Dr. He-Jin asked. "Standard survival knowledge," Nari said. "You learn it in school, or from parents, or camping clubs." "Your schools teach wilderness survival?" the official asked. "Basic stuff," Deho said. "Fire safety, first aid, how to find clean water, what to do if you get lost hiking." More officials were arriving on shuttles. Word was spreading through the galactic education system that something unprecedented was happening on Training World. "Gamma 7. We need to understand this better," Dr. He-Jin said. "Can you show us your shelter construction?" The humans gave the officials a tour of their camp. They explained how they had chosen the location, prepared the ground, and built the structures. "Why did you build multiple rooms?" asked another official. "Organization," Nari said. "Sleeping area stays clean and dry. Cooking area contains smoke and odors. Storage area keeps supplies organized and protected." "And this happened naturally to you?" "It's just logical," Wu Jin said. You wouldn't want to sleep next to your cooking fire. The officials were writing furiously in their notebooks. What about the animal? Dr. Hai-Jin pointed to Bounce, who was napping in a sunny spot. We call him Bounce, Daeho said. He's friendly, likes berries and belly rubs. You domesticated the apex predator. He domesticated himself, Wu Jin said. He just wanted food and attention. But the neurotoxins? He's never bitten anyone, Nari said. Why would he? We feed him and pet him. He's happy. Dr. Heejin sat down on a log the humans had set up as a bench. I need to explain something to you three, and to these officials. She looked around at the group. You've been treating this like a normal camping trip, haven't you? Pretty much, Daeho said. Easy camping trip. Good weather, no dangerous animals, plenty of food and water. That's what I thought, Dr. Hai-Jin said. The problem is what you call an easy camping trip is classified as extreme survival conditions by galactic standards. The three humans looked at each other. What do you mean? Nari asked. Dr. Heejin opened her tablet and showed them a chart. Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world. Do you know what that means? No, Wu Jin said. It means your planet is one of the most hostile environments in known space. Variable weather systems, dangerous predators, poisonous plants, extreme temperature ranges. Most species consider it barely habitable. The humans stared at her. But we live there, Daeho said. Yes, that's what makes this so interesting, Dr. Hai-Jin continued. The conditions here, 5-degree temperatures, precipitation, wild animals, natural water sources, these are nightmare scenarios for most galactic species. She pointed to the alien students who were still looking tired and stressed. Their species evolved on garden worlds. Perfect climate control, no predators, no weather, food that grows automatically. They've never faced wilderness conditions because their planets don't have wilderness. Never? Nari asked. Never. The idea of sleeping outside without climate control is terrifying to them. The idea of finding wild food is impossible. They don't understand fire, weather, or animal behavior because they never needed to. The officials were listening carefully. But humans evolved differently, Dr. Hai-Jin said. Earth forced you to adapt or die. You learned to make fire, build shelter, find food, and survive weather. These skills are so basic to humans that you consider them entertainment. So, we're good at camping because Earth is dangerous? Wu Jin asked. You're good at camping because Earth made you the ultimate survivors, Dr. Heejin said. What you call basic camping skills are actually advanced survival techniques that no other species has ever needed to develop. The silence stretched for a long moment. Are we in trouble? Daeho asked finally. Dr. Hai-Jin smiled. The opposite. The Galactic Educational Consortium wants to hire you as instructors. Instructors? Survival instructors. You've accidentally proven that humans can teach other species how to survive in conditions they never imagined possible. Nari looked around at their campsite. But we just went camping. Exactly, Dr. Heejin said. And that's exactly what makes you perfect for the job. The officials were already making plans. The survival training program would be completely redesigned. The humans had shown that with proper instruction, even garden world species could learn basic wilderness skills. But first, they needed to understand how 3 college students had accidentally become the galaxy's greatest survival experts. The revelation was just beginning. 6 months later, Daeho stood in front of 40 alien students in the new Advanced Survival Training Center on Kepler Station. The classroom was much bigger than the old one. The ceiling was higher. There were viewing screens and emergency medical stations around the walls. Welcome to Applied Deathworld Adaptation Techniques, he said to the class. I'm Instructor Daeho. These are my colleagues, Instructor Nari and Instructor Wu Jin. The 3 humans still felt strange being called instructors. They were still college students. But the Galactic Educational Consortium had offered them jobs they couldn't refuse. Today we begin with basic environmental assessment, Nari said. This means learning how to tell if a place is safe for camping. The alien students took careful notes. They came from 12 different species. Some had traveled across the galaxy to attend this class. First question, Wu Jin said. How do You know if air is safe to breathe? A student with purple skin and 6 arms raised one hand. You use atmospheric analysis equipment? That's one way, Deho said. But what if you don't have equipment? The students looked confused. You smell it, Nari explained. Bad air often. Smells wrong. Sweet smells might mean dangerous gases. Rotten smells mean dead things nearby. You trust your biological sensors? Asked a floating jellyfish-like student. Your nose is a very good detector, Wu Jin said. Humans have been using smell to detect danger for thousands of years. The students wrote this down like it was advanced science. Next question, Deho said. How do you tell if water is safe to drink? Chemical analysis, suggested a rock-like student. Again, that works if you have equipment, Nari said. But you can also look at the water. Is it clear? Is it moving? Are healthy plants growing nearby? Moving water is usually safer than still water, Wu Jin added. And if animals are drinking from it, it's probably okay for you too. The alien students looked amazed. These simple observation techniques had never occurred to them. The first week of classes continued like this. The humans taught basic skills that seemed obvious to them but were revolutionary to their alien students. How to tell if wood is dry enough to burn, how to find north without a compass, how to build a simple shelter that would keep rain out. This is incredible, said Dr. Hai-Jin during a staff meeting. Student evaluation scores are the highest we've ever recorded. We're just teaching camping basics, Nari said. That's exactly why it works, Dr. Hai-Jin replied. You make it seem easy because it is easy for you. The second week brought the first field trip. The humans took their students to a moderately challenging environment, a moon with breathable atmosphere and comfortable temperatures. The alien students arrived wearing full environmental suits with medical monitoring equipment. It's just like a park, Deho told them. Grass, trees, small animals, very safe. Are you certain? Asked the purple student, whose name was Kekstal. The safety briefing mentioned wild creatures. Creatures about the size of squirrels, Wu Jin said. They eat nuts and berries, they're afraid of us. But what if they attack? They won't, Nari explained patiently. Small animals only attack if they're cornered or protecting babies. Just give them space and they'll leave you alone. The field trip was a huge success. By the end of the day, several alien students had actually touched trees with their bare hands. 2 students had successfully identified edible berries. One brave student had even removed his environmental suit for 10 minutes. I felt the wind, he told the others excitedly. Moving air touched my skin. The humans exchanged glances. They were still amazed by how sheltered other species had been. The third week introduced fire. Fire is a tool, Deho explained to the Yor class. It provides heat, light, and protection. It also purifies water and cooks food. But it's dangerous, protested a student who looked like a walking crystal. Fire can burn things. Only if you're careless, Nari said. Fire is like any tool. You need to respect it, but you don't need to fear it. She demonstrated how to build a safe campfire, how to contain it with rocks, how to keep water nearby, how to put it out completely. On Earth, children learn fire safety, Wu Jin added. Young humans practice making safe fires. Children? Several students asked at once. Human children go camping with their families, Deho explained. They learn these skills as part of growing up. The alien students could barely believe it. Human children were taught skills that adult aliens found terrifying. Word about the human instructors spread across the galaxy. Applications for the survival program increased by 500%. News reporters wanted interviews. Scientific journals wanted research papers. How does it feel to be the galaxy's most famous survival experts? Asked a reporter from the Galactic News Network. Strange, Deho admitted. We're just sharing things we learned as kids. But these things you learned as kids are saving lives, the reporter said. Galactic Emergency Services reports that beings trained in your program are surviving accidents that would have been fatal before. It was true. Alien crew members who had taken human survival classes were successfully handling equipment failures, environmental emergencies, and planetary Evacuations. The most popular course is still how to stay calm when things go wrong, Nari told the reporter. Which is just basic stress management, Wu Jin added. That's what makes it so effective, the reporter said. By the end of their first year as instructors, the 3 humans had trained over 500 alien students. The program had expanded to include weather appreciation, learning to enjoy rain. Small animal interaction. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. Basic tool use, making things work without computers. Food preparation, cooking without molecular assemblers. The most popular class was still advanced relaxation techniques, how to sleep outside without dying of fear. Daeho had also started a cultural exchange program. Carefully selected aliens could visit Earth's safest resort areas to experience extreme survival conditions like beaches and lakes. The ocean is so big, whispered a visiting student who was standing knee-deep in perfectly calm water. And it moves by itself. It's just waves, Daeho said gently. The moon pulls the water back and forth. It's natural. Natural, the student repeated in wonder. Nari had developed new interspecies environmental systems. Her designs were now used in space stations across the galaxy to help different species live together comfortably. Wu Jin had written a best-selling book, Survival for Beginners, A Gentle Guide to Outdoor Life. It had been translated into 47 galactic languages. The book's most quoted line was, "Remember, you're not trying to conquer nature, you're just visiting politely." One evening, the 3 humans sat in their old dorm room on Kepler Station. Through the window, they could see stars and distant planets. "Do you ever miss just being students?" Nari asked. "Sometimes," Daeho said, "but this is interesting too. I like helping people," Wu Jin said, "even if they are afraid of butterflies." "Did you ever think we'd become famous for knowing how to make a fire?" Nari asked. "Never," Daeho laughed. "I thought we were just going on a camping trip." "We were," Wu Jin said. "We just didn't know that camping was impossible." They sat in comfortable silence watching the stars. Somewhere out there, alien students were practicing the advanced technique of sleeping in tents. Others were learning the expert skill of roasting marshmallows over campfires. And across the galaxy, a new phrase had entered common use in 17 languages. When in doubt, think like a human. It usually worked. The 3 humans from Earth had accidentally become the galaxy's greatest teachers simply by sharing the most basic lessons of home. They still didn't quite understand why everyone thought it was so amazing, but they were happy to help.